Hello, hi, how is it going? Let me know if the audio is good or not. Um, Trying something new here, having the camera, so that'll be exciting. Hi, Devin, hi, yes, crochet stream. Sydney, hello. Okay, awesome, good. Wow, this is very exciting. We're, got like the camera and all that set up. Definitely looking forward to it. Okay. And I'm very excited since I'm not recording my screen, and I'm using the camera primarily. I can actually have chat and stuff open on my computer and not have it weirdly set up on my phone that has to be at like a 45-degree angle so I can have it plugged in. So, yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for being here. So yeah, we're gonna be doing some crocheting, and the idea is just like, we can chat, and the lag is contagious. Yeah, it is. But yeah, we can just kind of chat and hang out, while we make something crocheting. So we have, you have hands. You get to see my tiny little baby hands. So yeah. How's everyone doing today? Are you ready to relax and crochet? I have I have next to me my comedically large bucket of just like yarn in various colors. So we have, we got like blues. We got so you might hear me like getting unnecessarily out of breath, reaching over my bucket like 2 feet away. Got, oh, this looks gray in the camera, but it's green. Oh jeez, oops. Okay, sorry, the cord of my headphones got stuck. I have a lot of cords going on because this camera is like mounted on, I have like a clamp-on light, that like clips on the edge of my desk, so like everything's getting stuck together. So if you just hear like stuff banging around, that's just all the cords getting caught in each other. Yeah. Toe thumbs? What are toe thumbs? Like your thumbs look like their toes? Or like your toes look like their thumbs? You had an AP Lang exam. Oh, that's right. It's like the end of the school year for you. Yeah, AP Lang is a tough one. Oh, and you got your toes crushed. Oh no, so much tragedy happening. I'm sorry. Sad times in the Trav gang. Yeah. Yes, the weakness is leaving the body. Oh, nice. Okay, well I can get started on crocheting. I think we'll do something really simple. I've crocheted a large variety of things in my time since I started learning crochet. So I normally do like plushies, and I sometimes do like bigger things, but today I think we just make something very small. So I have 3 options that we can pick from, and we can pick like colors and stuff. So do we want a small cupcake, a little octopus, or I can try and make a small corgi quickly, which I don't have a pattern for any of these. The octopus, I've made a big one before, or like, a medium-sized one, but like I've never made like the small one, but I can definitely figure out and resize it. I've never made a cupcake before, but that's probably going to be pretty easy. And the corgi, I've only made much bigger than I would be able to make today, so we can see how that works. I had to make a extra large one because someone ordered one, and I struggled with resizing that, but I can try. So those are our options. I mean, like, I can try something else if you have a sock puppet with face mask and goggles. I don't know. I don't know if I've never made a sock before, but like, we can try something small, and then I can, if it turns out like if I finish it like really fast, faster than I'm expecting, then we can like, you know, try another one maybe. Okay, Devin, you're voting for octopus. Yeah, the big octopus that I've made, or I guess the medium-sized one, because I've also made a very large one. The regular size octopus is, you know, it's very cute. So you like the octopus? Of course, Sydney likes the octopus. Okay, yeah, we can go with an octopus. I, you know, a little bit was hoping for that one because I just really like the normal size ones. Okay, colors now. I have most basic colors, so like kind of whatever we suggest, but like, I don't know, there's like purple, blue, pink, green, orange, yellow, anything like that. I also have like white and black, so navy blue and gold, easy. I wonder where you have the inspiration for those colors. Do we want to do blue? I have the largest thing of blue. So for some backstory, I like inherited my crochet yarn basically from my grandmother. So when she used to make blankets, she'd make these large, like, you know, like kind of go over the back of the sofa type crocheted blankets. So, you know, she had a decent bit of yarn, but it was usually like all the same colors. So a lot of like the Monet palette, sort of like this purple was hers. So purple and like sort of a like teal blue, like an aquamarine, and like dark blue, and black and stuff. So she bought this gigantic. The color's a little weird. It makes it look kind of grayish, but this gigantic thing of dark blue yarn. So do you want blue and gold, you say, Devin? Anyone else have a preference on color? Otherwise, I'll go ahead with the blue and gold. Light green or light yellow? Okay. Cyan. Yeah. Okay, well, how about this? That, you know, yeah, blue and gold, yeah. I could also do a lighter blue, more of, yeah, cyan color, and like a lighter yellow. What do we think about that? Like, this one's kind of multicolored, but we could use this outer color because that's what we'll start with, and then like a yellow. Yeah, that sounds cool. That's acceptable, Dev. Is that acceptable, or is it like good? Like, I could do dark blue. I just thought maybe it's aesthetic to have the light. Let me see. Do I have like a more medium blue in here? What? Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. I have this blue as well. Did everything go pink for you all? I don't know. Whenever I put the colors in front of the camera, it's like trying to adjust. Okay, yeah, well... Nice, it's working now, good. Yeah, we can go with the light colors. It'll be like, Devin, you can think of it like it's the, like, pastel, you know, Notre Dame, like, palette. It's like the Uwu palette, you know, because that's you ever wanted to hear the words Notre Dame and Uwu in the same sentence. So maybe I'll do like, yeah, soft webcomic vibes, exactly. This is when we make the like the cute soft boy webcomic um version of Notre Dame. Okay, gotta get my stuff together. I'm thinking maybe doing like stripes. So like, you know, the feet can be blue, or we could do different colored feet, you know, they can alternate, and then we can have like a stripe in the middle of the body. We'll figure it out. I'll just like improvise, and then like we'll see how that goes. So I am going to use, let's see, I have my Cowboy Bebop bag that I keep all my stuff in. Just a gift from my sister-in-law and my brother. Let's see. Is this the best? Yeah, this is the best kind of medium-sized hook. I usually go for that, let me see it, 5mm hook on there. So yeah, just go ahead and get started and see where it takes us. We'll do it like Bob Ross style, you know, no mistakes, only happy little accidents. Okay, so we make a magic ring, which it's like making plushies. I feel like I've made so many of the starting rings that like I can do it pretty fast, so people always are like, whoa, how did you do that? And like, Sydney can attest, like, I really struggle, like, teaching people how to do it, because it's, like, one of the few things I don't really, like, think about. It's just kind of, like, second nature at this point. So it's, like, it's so weird. So yeah. So what we're gonna do, is start with the feet. We're basically gonna make a bunch of little nubs, and then we thread them together. Crystal asked, is there a difference in the outcome by using different sizes? Yeah, basically the different sized hooks is like how much space between each stitch there's gonna be. So it'll be like, you know, like, you know, looser, and there'll be more gaps if you use a bigger hook. And so the advantages of using a smaller hook are that it'll be like more tight, and it'll look more like a solid thing that you're making, whereas a bigger hook kind of like with this weight of yarn I could use like a smaller one. I mean, the pink one might be more appropriate, but if you have a really small one, it's kind of like trying to crochet with like a needle, and so I always just find that the hook gets stuck on stuff really easily, and it's a lot easier to accidentally stick it through the thread rather than like hooking the thread. So I usually try and use the biggest hook that like isn't going to be too big, I guess. Oh wait, I'm doing a double crochet on here by instinct. Sydney, you're so advanced. Oh, I'm so advanced. Thank you, I appreciate that. Did I not make enough here? Oh, I'm in the second stitch. Oh my gosh. I'm talking, so I'm losing track of my stitches. That's another thing, is that whenever I crochet, for how long I've been doing this, it's a little ridiculous how often I like lose my place. So, you know, you'll probably see me recounting stitches like, you know, 10 times in a row, like every 10 seconds throughout the stream. Yeah, Devin, your job is literally to think about everything. That's so true. But that's kind of like the nice thing about crochet, is like you sort of don't think about it. I mean, depending on like, sometimes if I'm like making a pattern myself, or I'm really struggling with something, like, you know, I'm thinking about it a lot. But it's like one of those things like coloring pages that you do. Yeah, I am making the octopus, and we're gonna make it blue and yellow. Devin, I'll give you this octopus afterwards. and then it can be like the good luck charm for Notre Dame to get their Uwu Pastel Championship win. Crystal, you said your mom taught you how to crochet when you were younger. That's nice. Couldn't make anything more than just a string? Oh, like a single crochet, or like a chain. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's kind of like the where you got to start out. So, um and yeah, my mom also taught me to crochet. Well, my mom and my grandmother. Um so when I was like in college, it was, I think my grandmother crocheted for a while, and my mom was always a very like, I don't know, like people often say that I'm crafty and I'm like creative, and like my mom is very good at any craft she does, but she's not like, it's not the same way that it's like, a part of her identity. Um so I wouldn't necessarily describe her as a crafting person, but she is um someone who likes to make things, and when she does, it always turns like, both of my parents, it's like if they ever attempt something, it's gonna be like perfect. It's like infuriating, but also great. Like I'm happy for them, but I'm also like, stop being so perfect at everything. Making me look bad. Um but yeah, so she picked up crochet. I don't know if she picked it up from my grandmother, or she just like, sort of started doing it after a while. When my grandmother moved in with us. Oh, you're heading out, Crystal? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hopefully, if you come back later, you'll get to see the finished product. Okay, got some little feet going here. So yeah, I also of course started with just doing like a chain and everything. Gotta start somewhere. And but yeah, so my grandmother made blankets, my mom made like hats and scarves and things, but I don't know, I'm just a very like sort of product oriented person. Like if I'm learning something new, I want to like have something at the end of it. So I like, well, I guess like they would have something by the end of it, but they'd like have like a scarf or something. Like I wanted to make um like stuff like imitating real things but in crochet. So pretty soon after I learned the basics, I don't even know if I like made a hat to start out with or anything. I might have just gone straight into making plushies. Um First thing I made, I'm trying to think. I don't remember what the very first thing I made was. I mean, it was probably just making like squares and like starting on scarves and stuff, but I don't know if I ever made like a full scarf. Um, but then I remember I made a milk carton and I put little crochet eyes in it. Um, so I have it at my office at work actually, but it's just like a cute little. I might have even used pink string to give it like little like the blushy, cheeks. It's like supposed to be like a cartoon milk carton, but it's really simple, because it's just, I mean, crochet and squares don't really tend to go super well together, but like, it was one of the first things I made. So yeah, it's I think it was primarily plushies and figures and things from the start. Oh my gosh. This particular yarn I am struggling with. Oh, you know what? It's because I'm starting with. It's also because, I'm starting with a base of 4 circle here. It's the smaller you make the starting circle, like the harder it is, because you have to make that really tight turn at first. But I want to make something small because I know if I start with like a big octopus, it's gonna take me forever. So we are just We're just making a little guy. I always say that crochet is like you learn some basic stitches and then it's all just math from there. So, it's like, I don't know if it's like geometry or like it might be more of like an algebra thing, but it's kind of like anyone who plays Minecraft, if you've ever tried to build a circle and then you have to go to like the calculator because it like is like, oh, if you want to make this kind of shape, you know, you have to have this many blocks on this side. Like it's kind of like that with crochet because like you know, if you want to make like a sphere, there's like a particular like type of pattern you do, so you'll usually do like, a ring and then you'll double crochet or not double crochet, you'll like do like increases all around and then you'll do single crochet and then increase, single crochet, increase, and then you'll do like 2 single crochets and then an increase. But if you're wanting like more of like a you don't want it to be a perfect circle, you want like an oval kind of thing, then you would like not increase it as fast and stuff. So like yeah, it's like weirdly I'm not like very good at math. Like I was like pretty decent at algebra, which is weird because I feel like a lot of people don't like algebra, but that was my favorite math to do. It's like the only one that I understood. I was so bad at geometry. That was like my like when you take the ACTs, um, if you're in an area where they do ACTs, that was always my worst subject on the entire ACT was geometry. So I hope that crochet is not geometry kind of math. I think it's more of like an algebra thing. But yeah. It's so I'm not great at math, so it wouldn't make sense, It doesn't make a lot of sense for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm good at crochet, and crochet is like a big part math. But it's like simple math. It's like logic problems more so than like trigonometry or something. So basically, to make anything, you're really just combining these basic shapes. So like, something like this you could use as like an octopus leg, you could use it as a person's leg, you could, modify it a little bit and make like ears for something. And like a person is basically just a couple of these nubs put together and then you stitch them together to make the legs and then build the body off of that, put 2 more for arms, and then make a sphere and put that as a head and put it on top, and that's like a basic like doll pattern. So yeah, I mean it's really like you just need to figure out the basics, and then it's all about, maybe that's why I like crochet so much too, then it's all about just creativity from there. Like how can you um you know be creative to find creative ways to make things out of certain shapes, kind of like drawing. um Imagine if that were your leg, Devin. What, your legs don't look like this? Uh-huh. Oh, are they a little longer maybe? Yeah, crochet's taught you can't count. Me too. Well, no, actually, I've always known that I can't count. Like, it's like I know what numbers are, but I can't remember them when I'm crocheting. And like, I never trust my counting. Yeah, the GRE is gonna prove to the whole world that you don't count. Or that you can't count, I mean. um, yeah, no, that's fair. Standardized testing math is also like, you know, crazy. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, I can do math, like I can count crochet stitches. Well, I can hardly do that, honestly. But, I can't do like, oh, you want me to see how many watermelons like Jason has if he buys 8,000 watermelons and gives 2,000 to Susie? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Jerry math wrecked you. Actually, Sydney, I don't think I don't think crochet is what taught you that you can't count. I think playing, D&D, or like I'm thinking specifically of Snake Eye, um, taught all of us that we taught everyone but Kira that we can't count. Because she had to do like all of the math for us. At least for me. Oh man, graphing calculators. Ugh, I haven't thought about graphing calculators in years. Yeah, I do not even remotely remember how to use a graphing calculator. I mean, granted, I wouldn't remember how to do most of the math that I learned in grade school. Um, like, um, I don't know, I remember, like, the quadratic formula and stuff, but listen here. Yeah, quick math. Well, it's hard too because it's really easy math. It's just like you have to quickly like add and subtract. Now you do billing. It's like your whole job. Yeah. Yeah, and Devon, board games are the only reason you still have math skills. Like, that's very fair. You gotta keep your math sharp so you can count your points in Scythe. Gotta do it. I'll a lot of times pull out a calculator, but in all fairness, like, it's partly because, it's not that I can't do the math, it's that I don't necessarily always trust myself because, I don't know. I don't know if it's like I struggle with it more or I just notice it more as I get older, but I have like an issue with keeping numbers straight, and I thought maybe it was dyslexia, but I think it's something different, and it might have to do with my synesthesia. Um, it gets confusing when we're using numbers and the use doesn't match up with like the color in my head. So even like the buttons on the calculator are all like white or they're all orange or something, but like the numbers all correspond with specific colors in my head. So it's like suddenly like the ones on the calculator screen like don't, or like the phone screen where I have my calculator don't like match up. It's just weird. Like, so I just struggle to do, like, I don't struggle to do quick math, I struggle to like trust that it's right. Like, so 7s and 3s are like pretty much the same color for me with the synesthesia. um so if I'm doing math, I might accidentally like substitute one for another, and like god help me if someone is reading numbers out to me, if they say like 7, I'm like, psh, you're gonna get one of the green numbers, but like we'll see which one it is. We'll see if it's right. So yeah, right. Well, I think the PhD admission committee, instead of doing the GRE, I think they should just have everyone play Scythe as like an admission thing. Sorry, Sydney, I know you're not really into board games anymore, but I just think it's like I think it's a better measure than the GRE. Well, Sydney, we'll have you play, what was it, Last Night on Earth, or what was the game that like you just like it was like the zombie one, and you had like the two axes, and you were just like like the rest of us were standing and watching as you were just like plowing through every zombie. Well, they'll have you do that one, but it's like it should be some kind of board game. Yes, Last Night on Earth was what it was called. Okay, yeah. Last person standing. Yeah, right. Um, yes. I think Sydney would be last one passing the GRE. Wait, no, not last one. Last one left to pass the GRE. Yeah, it took no math. Right, exactly. That's some of the strengths. Everyone has their own strengths. Some people, can do the math and all the word problems and the science reading and all that, like all those the problems that were like, I don't know, really difficult like that. And some people can just beat up zombies really good. What can I say? What if like that was actually like the PhD admissions exam is like they throw you in a scenario and you have to like fight zombies. That would be kind of groovy. Well, it wouldn't be kind of groovy because like people like me would never be able to get a PhD or even like, you know, be admitted into a program because and not unless I could bring Sydney with me. Now that's a different matter. If it's like assemble your team and survive, like I would be set because Sydney, I would be calling you up before anyone could like even finish asking the question. I'd be like, I know who's on my team. That's a power duo. Yeah. Yeah, well like yeah, Sonnen goes into PhDs anymore. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, no, we'd be a power. I think, you know, we could make a power group easy. Like it's like I don't know if you remember, but like way back, I think like in 2020 or something, I just did like a sketch for fun where it was like, you know, our, you know, friend group zombie survival team. And Sydney, of course, I had you as the zombie fighter, and you had the, I think, twin chainsaws. Um, Devin, you were the like negotiator, um, you know, slash navigator as well. Like I know you like you'd be like poring over all the like ancient texts, you know, um, that we'd find and stuff to like help us navigate and like find food sources and stuff. You'd be out here with the, was it triptych or whatever they used to have, um, and yeah, and I think I have myself as the mechanic. I don't really know anything about vehicles, but like, you know, like I could learn that. But like I definitely like also be the chef. I just don't think the chef is like enough for like a sole job. If if Merida was not there with us, like she was not able to be on our team, then I could be like the medic. Um but like I think she's a better fit for that role. So yes, you remember this? Nice. Yeah. It's just like a fun, you know, creative exercise, I think. And you still have the buttons I made. Aw. Is like, was it the buttons that I drew of our Fantasy Age characters? Is that what you're talking about, Sydney? Or like just the buttons that I made in general? Because I've made a lot, a lot of buttons and probably annoyed everyone with them. Oh my gosh, these are so tiny. They're so hard to flip inside out. There we go. The Fantasy Age buttons. Yeah, yeah. These are fun times. I very much enjoyed drawing your character for that, Sydney. I enjoyed drawing all of our characters. They're so fun. Yes, okay, yeah, that was Fantasy Age, the character that had the kill count on her sword. I loved that, and I loved our process of creating like the backstory and everything for that. Um, because I remember we were just talking about it one day. It was like, um, I think like you were like, yeah, I don't know what to do for my characters, like, you know, my character's story and stuff. And I was like, what if her whole thing is just like that she had like a super normal life and now she's bored, so she's like killing people all the time? Yeah, right. I mean, Ren Fair was a great. Well, I think it was especially like he didn't so much have like like a like really unique backstory, but he was just such a good character. Yeah, yeah, Devin, you're reading through D&D stuff right now. Yes, I would love to do a campaign this summer. I miss having RPG stuff in my life. Okay, I'm gonna actually switch to a smaller hook just for these feet. Like, I think the gaps between the stitches are fine there. And this isn't much smaller, but I feel like it's a little too big. Once I do the main body, I'll probably go back to the yellow one, but it's a little tight to be going around those turns with the big Oh yeah, this seems a lot better. Yeah, right. Sydney just got bored. I think that was back when like our characters all just had our names. Um yeah, okay, yeah, Devin, you commenting on that too. I just saw that. Yeah, no last name, just Sydney. Well, and that's I Merida and I talked about this on the last stream that I did, like where did the name Quistemu come from? And it wasn't like it wasn't spelled the same way, but that's where the Demu comes from. That was my character's name in Fantasy Age, but it was spelled like with every vowel in the alphabet, so it was like Dumas or whatever, because Cuisse was supposed to be the French. Yeah, yeah, right. Well, I think it was like D apostrophe M, like Demu. Um, but yeah, it was it was wild. So like Cuisse was supposed to be like the French version of Chris, but like obviously like Chris is already like from a French name. But like and that's like not how it would be in French anyway. So it was like I just like did it like a key smash to make the last name basically. It's just every vowel in existence. But yeah, no. I think well no, we might have not all. I was thinking we all just had like our names as our characters, but I don't think so. I think it was just Sydney and then I was Queese. Because yeah, like Austin was like J. I thought they were like just the letter J at first. I'm pretty sure it was J. I think that was the one. And then Joe was like Maximilian, I think. I think he was like Max for short, but his like full name was like something fancy. Yeah, it was just no, that's totally fine. Like I think that's like it's also like such a like good statement on like the character to be like, yeah, she's just Sydney. Just Sydney. Yes. Yeah, right. That time where you made um the crux of that particular session be it was like all about this really big fight, and then Sydney, our best fighter, was just not there. So we like, oh god, we died. We almost died so bad there. um and it the day was saved because of Jay, but I think even they got like kind of wiped out. So I mean, we obviously would have died a lot earlier, but then I think the big thing was because I got that like uh the like critical stunt roll on that, like on a search action, like on a perception check, I guess. Because we were looking for a place to stay for the night. Yeah, the stunt search roll, right, exactly. And it was just like, yeah, everyone roll to search, and then I rolled like a critical success. And so it was like, oh my gosh, how does that even work? And so like I fell into like a hole in the ground that was like some like ancient like shrine site that had like the rune sword that ended up being like the key which was also like a really good like I don't know if I've said that before, like adapting on your part as the DM to be like this situation like needs something like some kind of twist here. And so you like brought back that like seemingly throwaway like, oh yeah, we found like this cool, it was like, oh yeah, a cool sword, like whatever, but it ended up being like because I think my character didn't use magic and like some people did, um or something like that. So it was like this really cool moment of like, oh whoa, like the magic sword for like a non-magical character. I don't remember, I might have used magic, but I don't know, it was I just thought it was like a really cool way to like bring it back around. A wraith, yeah, a wraith could only be damaged by magic attacks, that's right. And that's why Austin was so like powerful in that, or like and so like helpful, because you know, half of us couldn't do anything. It was just Ethan and Austin, I think, because Joe and I didn't do magic. Anyway, I that whole campaign was like full of really good, like, pivoting and like adapting the story on your part. Um, like, of course, the famous, when there was like two options who we could side with, and we chose both. Um, yeah, and yeah, the sword was the only way that we could fight it. That's right. But yeah, no, so we chose both options on the branching story. And it was like, how do you even adapt to that? So I felt like you did a really good job on that. I don't know. It was just such a fun campaign for so many reasons. I mean, part of which it being like, you know, for me it was our first campaign. But I know for you all, for some of the members of the party, like, you had been in like a D&D group together. But yeah, it was just a fun time. And then I remember the my other favorite critical role on in that campaign was when I got the like critical flirt on Ethan's character. But the problem is that like then I had to like RP like flirt, because I was trying to do a persuasion to convince him that we were like trustworthy, or at least that like I was like, I think to like tell me a secret, or just in general to think we were trustworthy. And then so it was like, well, what makes sense in this situation? Because like, you know, when you do the stunt rolls, you can like choose what action you do, and it's like the only one that really made sense, because we were just like talking, was the flirt move. And I was like, well, that would be effective, but then I had to RP like what a good flirting response was, and I'm like, I've never flirted with anyone, and I don't intend to, and no one has flirted with me to my knowledge, which is very possible that like I just didn't know if they did. But you know, so I was like, what does this even look like? So like I had no idea, because like, you know, for context, I am ace, and so I don't like date people, and I don't flirt with people. So it's like I was just like, hey, we are trustworthy, yo. And it's like, is that what flirting sounds like to you? Like, what? I don't know, I just thought it was really funny. Yeah, and Sydney, you mentioned Ren. Oh my gosh, so iconic. Because it was really Ren's character in Snake Eye, the Snake Eye campaign. It's really Ren's character that like set off like that whole campaign happening. Um, yeah, Devin the butterfly meme. Is this flirting? But yeah, it was like, because I wanted to test out the Snake Eye system. So I was just like really bland, or not bland, but you know, just like a really like generic adventure. And I was just like, just be like characters that you'll have fun like fighting people. And I was like, it's gonna be just a really short, you know, half an hour, um, just kind of messing around type thing. I should have known that wouldn't end up happening, but yeah, and then we were just making characters, and I was like, yeah, you all are like international criminals, whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, you know, Merida's the smart character, and then Megan will be the, you know, the kind of like leader slash like Danny Ocean type character. And then yeah, that era was crack and iconic, absolutely. And then you're like, yeah, I'll be like the Brawn. And then, I mean, when you think of a RPG campaign, you tend to think of fantasy, so you're like, oh, can I have a sword? And I was like, here's the thing, it takes place in 2005 in Amsterdam. And you're like, okay, but can I have a sword? And I was like, I don't know. And then I don't remember if I think I was the one who said it. Either that or you suggested it, but I was like, he can have a sword if he's a cosplayer. And that was like the whole like cat like that was the moment it all changed. Yeah, Devin, he was a larper. And so it started like it's like, okay, well he can have a sword but it has to be cosplay, and so it's registered as like a cosplay thing. So it became that like he works at a Renaissance fair and is a professional like Renaissance fair um like larper. So yeah, that was the whole thing. And so then they all well no, they didn't all become larpers. Merida and uh, so Toby, Merida's character, and Ren um, were larpers, and then Megan's character Parnell was just like hanging out. Yeah, yeah, you watched the YouTube too. I keep meaning to post. I have the audio from the one we did where it went back to them in elementary school. That one was like the funniest thing that I have ever been like responsible for, I guess. Because oh my gosh. I mean, the original one was hilarious, and then the second one we did was like good, but it was like a lot more like intense and stuff. Like it was a little more serious. But that third one where they were kids was just like oh my god. I don't know, just some of the things that happen were just like so funny because with glitter, yeah, yeah. Well, because Ren's whole thing as a child was that he was obsessed with glitter. Um because you know he as a grown up he's like this like beefcake like Chris Hemsworth looking but like dumb super strong guy. And so it was like what if when he's a kid he's just like you know I just launched that. Oh my gosh. He's like, you know, the chubby kid and like, you know, like a nerd. Yes, he's a himbo. Yes, exactly. He's the archetypal himbo, prototypical. And yeah, I don't know. So it was like, so this whole thing is he was like obsessed with glitter. And, like he ate glitter. I remember. Um, and he had like a briefcase full of glitter. Like he kind of ate everything to my recollection. Uh, so yeah, it was hilarious. And then Toby just had like I don't know, like a lot of funny one because she was always like the more serious one. You know, she's the brains of the operation and stuff. Um, so it was like fun to kind of mess around with her character, where it's like, um, you know, she's like the big nerd and stuff like that, and the over dramatic like she gets into a fight with like I think it was like the AV club or something. Or maybe they were like the D&D club, something like that. But it's like, you know, the whole idea like she had a falling out with them because she's like the best D&D player or whatever, video game. Oh, maybe it's video game club, something like that. And so it was like the nerd club basically, and like they literally like, you know, like kidnap her, and then Ren shows up, and then like they're like so it's like even though they're like little kids and stuff, and it's elementary school, they were having like the like super dramatic like battle, and it was like the you can't defeat me, you're not powerful enough, you need more training, like whatever. um, it was I don't know, that was super fun. Oh, and then I forgot, yeah, the highlight of the whole thing was the dodgeball match. Oh, how did I forget? That was the best part. Yeah, I have to go back and listen to that one for sure. Because it was like dramatic. The dodgeball match was like, yeah, do you remember, Sydney? Um it was like actually life and death. And it was like Barnell versus her twin or her like triplet brother and sister and stuff, and it was like I don't know. I just, yeah. I mean, I basically ripped the whole thing from the dodgeball scene in the comic Paranatural, which is a super awesome comic. But it's like they also have this like really dramatic like anime fight dodgeball match. Ugh, that was just such a good adventure. Um, so yeah, so Devin mentioned that he wants to do a D&D campaign, and I'm like super excited for that. And then I was thinking of doing like maybe like Fate Accelerated or Fate Core, like, you know, like a more streamlined and like RP heavy system, or not RP heavy, but like RP focused, I guess, character focused. Um, Fate Core, yeah, yeah. So I was thinking about that and doing a campaign for us that's like more like in the vein of like the Snake Eye campaign with Ren and all that. Um, that's just like silly and goofy. So like Devon's will be like actually good, and this would be like the let's just like mess around and have fun and have hijinks kind of thing. Um, yes, Devon got. Well, it wasn't Devon. It was Devlin. It was like evil Devon. Um, and so like the whole because the start of the first session in the campaign was that your all's fourth member, you know, had died, and so you wanted to do something, you know, good to sort of redeem yourselves as like international criminals, because you didn't want to die without leaving a legacy. Um, because that was the whole thing. So it was Devlin, was the character, and his like thing was that he was posing as a priest in Chile, because this is when Devon was actually in Chile. um, so that was like, so it's evil Devon, so he's pretending to be a priest, and then it turned out that he hadn't actually died. Barnell had faked his death and put him in her like Hunger Games thing. So yeah. Evil Devlin, yeah. Yes. That was so funny. And then yeah, the second one was that he escapes the games and comes back and puts you all in the games as revenge. Um so yeah, that was a fun one too. That one was fun to do something a little more serious. I've mostly just done like well, I wouldn't say mostly because I've done Dread adventures. Um but like my specialty, I guess, is more of the goofy, fun, silly ones. Um other than Dread, I haven't done much that's serious. So that one was a fun one. There were definitely goofs and things in that, but like it was overall like it was pretty intense, and like there were like epic moments that were epic. Of course, the big plot twist of the second Snake Eye was so good. Like it made me so happy when you all said you didn't see it coming at all, that Ethan was an FBI agent, like as a plant the whole time, like recording, uh, you know, evidence against you all. Like, and so then at the end, when like the FBI comes in, it's like, wait, what? What are the authorities doing here? And then he turns around and he's like, like, I'm an FBI agent and you're all under arrest. And guys were like, what? Yeah, sure. Yeah. It was just so good because I thought maybe you all would see it coming pretty early on, and then I was like, I don't know what I'd do at that point because I don't want like him to have a bad experience if you all are like, wait a minute, you're a plant from the FBI, we don't trust you. And I assume like, you know, we would kind of roll with it, so you all might be like, you know, it's we have to let him survive just because or something. But yeah, no, that was so good. Hi Crystal, welcome back. The crocheting goes good. I've been working on the feet, so I was, you know, I had the worry of like, oh, maybe it'll like go super fast and I'll get it done too fast and I'll make something else. But that's definitely not going to be a problem. I'm going pretty slow because I'm talking. Thankfully, crochet is one of like the few things I can actually like multitask and do while talking, but it's still slower. Um, the FBI, he said. Yeah, we were talking about a like a tabletop RPG campaign that we did. So Sydney and Devin, or well, no, Sydney was part of that campaign, and Devin has done a bunch of, you know, RPG campaigns with us, but he wasn't in this one. So there was evil Devin. Devlin was the character. So we were just talking about a plot twist in one of the adventures was that one of our other friends turned out to be an FBI agent who was spying on them. It was hilarious. Yes, we had a huge heist. Yeah. So it was like, yeah, a campaign. So the first one was a heist. I guess they could all be perceived as heists, but yeah, the first one was like a heist, and then the second one was like basically the Hunger Games, and then the third one was when they were in elementary school, and somehow it was like the most violent of them all. Or not violent because I think I had the rule of like you can't kill anyone, but it was like crazy. Yeah, right. They had to steal the cure for Alzheimer's. Yeah, that was the. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, Devin, the idea for um the like sort of more informal one I had. Oh, you said Fantasy Age. Yeah, Fantasy Age also, yeah, was kind of yeah, it was also kind of a heist, but we were supposed to choose which side we were gonna help, the ones stealing or the ones defending the like treasure. And we split up, and then one half stole it, and the other half was defending it, and so that was a fun little situation. But yeah, so I mentioned like when you're doing the like serious campaign over the summer, um, I might lead like a more fun, goofy one. So the idea I was having with that is I thought something kind of like missions based would be good, like very episodic, and you have some kind of job. Because I don't like doing the like murder hobos meet in a tavern and decide to be murder hobos together for gold, you know. Like that can be fun sometimes, but I just like didn't want to do that. So I mean, part of it is like it can still be kind of simple if you have like it be their job, you know, to do a bunch of missions. So basically uh the like overall idea of this one that I had, and I like talked to Austin about it, and they seemed pretty excited. So I think I'd go with this one just because it seems fun to do. Um, is basically like super mailmen. um, so it's like basically there's this like organization that's like very like reputable, like in the country or world that the characters are in, that's known for like basically the extreme version of rain or shine will get it delivered. Like it's like no matter the job and no matter the difficulty, they'll get like mail delivered. So I'm thinking it started that like some of the like background is that there was some kind of really big war that basically just like scarred the entire like world or continent or whatever, like a big like world war type thing. Um, and like during the war, um, these mail carriers arose to like send letters from people in love with on other sides of the battlefield. um so it has like it's like called Cupid, and like it's like this kind of like Cupid like love theme. So that was like the thing is like, so even through a battlefield they'll like carry letters. And then like now after the war has ended, it's like they just do like any kind of like big mission that's like difficult to deliver. um and so like you'd be like part of the organization, and um just doing these kinds of like crazy like delivery missions and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Crystal, the one game of D&D you've played. Hold on, let me. The best way to escape the capital is to overthrow the reigning princess. Oh no. Yeah, of course, murder hobos. D&D problem solving. Yeah. You don't know how to properly play. I mean, does anyone play D&D properly, to be fair? I agree with you, Devin. Yeah, it's yeah, properly playing is just having fun. I definitely agree with that. I mean, like, the rules are there so that there can like be a system and you don't have to like have a big debate every time someone does a roll, but like It's really just whatever you have fun doing. So like Snake Eye, what we were talking about earlier, the campaign that we did, was a system that I made, which is really just like a watered down version of the basics of D&D, but like, you know, I had some twists on it. So it's called Snake Eye Showdown because you subtracted the numbers of like what you roll. So like the best roll to get, you roll like 2d6s, so the best roll to get is like, you know, double ones. So that was the whole thing. And so like that was just born out of like wanting to sort of do whatever, like as long as we had fun. So, you know. Yeah, you didn't know what you were doing and you still don't. Like that's fair. That is fair for sure. I just roll the dice and let people tell me whether I won or not. The thing I forgot about making an octopus is that it has so many legs. Like, I'm pretty sure making these legs is gonna take as long as the entire rest of it. I hope so, at least. It was taking a while. 8 of them, I hear. Yeah, that is the thing about octopuses. They do be having 8 legs. I mean, in best case scenario, I guess. If they don't have 8 legs, it's kind of unfortunate. So, I mean, unless they have more than 8 legs, I guess that's pretty swell, you know. Imagine you're the, decapus, I guess? Would that be correct? You're like, you know, the one son of a gun that's got like 10 legs or something. That'd be crazy. Yeah, they regenerate. Oh, that's true. They do regenerate. So, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's an octopus out there, with like, you know, some kind of like genetic problem where it doesn't regenerate, or like, you know, something real bad happens and the tissue gets damaged. I don't know. You're all leg. You're just one massive leg. Is this you? Is this you, Devin? Every day is leg day. That's so true. If all you are is leg, then every day is leg day. So, like, valid, you know? You just be out there living your best leggy life. Live, laugh, leg. Oh no. Crystal, I don't like that octopus fact. I don't know. That's not the kind of octopus we're making. We're gonna be making a nice octopus that has 8 legs made out of leg. So many weird animal facts. What other weird animal facts do you got for us? Yeah, of course, Sydney can tell us about the echidna facts that are in the same vein as Crystal's octopus fact for us. But we don't gotta talk about that. That was also from that Snake Eye campaign, though. That was a running joke about the echidnas, so, you know. You forgot about the echidna. I did too. But, you know, I have remembered now, which, you know, is not the worst thing in the world, because sometimes I worry that I might run out of things to talk to my therapist about, so... You know, that's what we're here for. To keep the supply of traumas coming. Yeah, you miss not knowing about it. Yeah, me too. Me too. Those were simpler times. Those were better times. Orcas likely have intelligence similar to humans. They have cultures and trends. Like to hunt great white sharks. Wow. Oh. Yeah. They also have traditions. Wow. I mean, I would almost argue orcas probably have higher intelligence than humans if they, you know, were smart enough to get big and go live out in the ocean. Like, orcas aren't out here having to pay taxes. I think they're doing something right that, you know, we have completely not gotten right. Like, imagine if you just, like, swam for a living, you know? Well, I guess they don't swim for a living. I guess they kill things for a living because their living is just however they get food. So, but like, you know, some people kill things for a living. So like, you know, imagine if you were doing that anyway. You may as well just go out and be an orca and be in the ocean. I mean, I don't like the ocean. It's scary. But like, if I was an orca, I'd be the scary thing in the ocean. So, you know, I'd be scared of myself. So nothing would really change from now. Other than I'd be scared of myself, I'd be 90% blubber, and I'd be out in the ocean. So, like, that last one is really the only one that's different. Yeah, what kind of traditions do orcas have, Crystal? Pod of orcas out there that hunt seals by beaching themselves and pulling the seal back out to sea. Oh my gosh. That'd be scary. You're like a seal and you're like, oh, that's an orca. How scary. Well, good thing I'm not right by the water. Ha ha ha, I'm so safe here. And then, like, brother just, like, ejects from the ocean and is just like, ha, no you're not. And you just get confiscated by an orca. Like, yeah, they're brutal to seal. Yeah. Isn't it an orca that's from that video of, like, or like the screenshot from a video that is like, orca just heckin' punts a seal or whatever. It's like, it just like blasts it straight up in the air, like 100 feet in the air, and then, like, you know, to kill it, I guess. Is that an orca or is that just some other kind of whale? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. That's, you know, maybe that's another motivation for me to get it into shape, because if I ever go near an ocean, I do not want an orca mistaking me for a seal. Like, I want to be fit and skinny and very unseal looking. Which is not the case now. So, orcas are a natural predator to moose? Oh my god. That's terrifying. Oh, moose swim, that's right. Yeah. But like, I always think of moose, if they're gonna be swimming, I would imagine them swimming in like a freshwater stream. Or like, even like a river. But not like the ocean. But I don't know, maybe like, depending on where they live, like if they're in like Eastern Canada or something, maybe it's like they just have like that instinct to swim across to other islands or something? I don't know. That's so weird. Why moose be swimming? Don't they know? Don't they know about the terrors of the ocean? They've clearly never talked to Sydney, so they don't know how scary the ocean is. Because, you know, we can get into, you know, Sydney can talk about how I thought everything's small in the ocean. Not like I think that everything in the ocean is small, but like the sizes that I thought of like each individual ocean creature are apparently like not accurate. Or like just water in general. Like Sydney told me like a tuna can be like several feet long. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. They put them in such like tiny little bags, you know? They put the ground tuna in a little this makes me sound really stupid. I mean, it's mostly just that I didn't think about it, but like, you know, it's just like, why is tuna in such small packages when, you know, the fish themselves are so big? Yeah, tell them how big a manatee is. Okay, alright. Alright, we're gonna get into this now, are we? Yeah, so I've talked about this before on stream, but I thought manatees were small. I really did. Um, they're not. They're very much not small. If I were to, whenever I see a manatee now, if I were to describe them in one word, I'm gonna tell you what, it would not be small. Um, absolutely we are. Yeah, yeah. We gotta talk about this. Okay. Um, yeah, I think it was because of because I just never thought about it and never seen a manatee in person. And so I never really had this view challenge. It's just one of these things you assume. Um so I think it was because of Veggie Tales. Um I grew up with that Veggie Tales VBS life when I was a kid. And Larry the Cucumber sings the song about Barbara Manatee, and he's dancing around with this plushy manatee that, if Larry the Cucumber were a human being, an average sized human man, um, it would be maybe a foot long plushie or something. Um, like a Blaha size, kind of stuffy. But I mean, I guess it's fair that it wouldn't be to scale because he's literally a cucumber. So yeah, I guess the scale isn't going to be accurate anyway. They wouldn't be able to fit the plushie in frame if it were actual manatee size. But I don't know. I feel like that's reasonable. As a kid, I just went, "Yep, that's the scale manatees are to people," and then never question it. And then I was talking to Sydney, and I said, she was saying that in tourist locations where there's manatees, they have problems with yeah, they should put a disclaimer. Yeah, they have problems with people trying to ride on the manatees. And I was like, oh my gosh, how do people think that they're gonna ride on a manatee? Like they're so small. And she was like, what? What do you mean they're small? I was like, yeah, they're like a foot long or whatever. And then she showed me a picture of a manatee, and they're as big as people. I was like, that's crazy. Flabbergasted. You think you were flabbergasted? Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, I was. My world has never been the same since that day. Okay, so now we're doing the part where we're adding on the legs. The first time I did this, and I read the pattern to see how they attach the legs, and I saw how this worked. I was mind blown because I had never thought you just put two crocheted things together that have stitches available to hook into, and you just do a single crochet across them, and then suddenly it just comes together as one piece. I don't know. It looks, once it's done, it looks so seamless. So in my mind, yeah, you can't think of manatees without thinking of that conversation. Good, I'm glad. I've ruined manatees for you forever, and if that's my only legacy in this world, I guess that's enough for me. So, yeah, manatees are small, y'all. Or actually, manatees are not small, y'all. That's the takeaway. See, our streams are educational. We're all about the larnin here. You ruined manatees for me. I don't know, because yeah, now I definitely can't think of manatees without that conversation, because I have to remember that they're large. But manatees are so cute, and they're just big, galumphing little guys, little big guys. So I'm kind of okay with the knot now that I've accepted it and gotten over the cognitive dissonance of my entire worldview being incorrect. You know, I'm okay with it because, I'd like to give a manatee a hug. I tell you what is ruined for me. Tuna. I don't know. I thought they were small. It's so sad. It's so tragic. I'm gonna turn up the... Can you guys hear the music? I didn't even think about that. I don't even know if it's making any volume at all. tuna get massive, yeah. They out here being big. They woke up and decided to be big. Unlike me. See, tuna get massive, but they also get really small, because they put them in a small package. Which is really what messed with me. Okay, attaching the legs. It should go faster from this point on, because I'm not making a bajillion legs. And by a bajillion, I mean 8. How big do you think swordfish are? We talked about this. I remember this. Okay, listen. You don't gotta do me like that. I don't remember, because I was like, oh, a swordfish. It's probably like a couple feet long. And then you were like, oh, actually, they're 17,000 miles long. Didn't you know that? Didn't you know that everything in the ocean is, like, ridiculously huge? You haven't ruined manatees for me. You've just ruined me, Sydney. Thou hast ruined me. 14 feet? Who the heck be out here being 14 feet? I'm like negative 14 feet. Imagine if I was an ocean creature, you know, like stuff in the ocean is so big. If I was an ocean creature, I'd be all like stretched out and big. I might actually, you know, I just go to the ocean, evolve, you know, for a few generations, and then I come back being like, Lorg. They took my height, yeah. Hey Trav, welcome back. The travesties have returned. I'd be a okay, wow. Wow, alright. Bullying. I'm being bullied. I'm being harangued and harassed in my own home. Salmon have nearly 1-to-1 feed to calorie ratio? Oh, wow. Well, and salmon's pretty good for you too, right? The meat? I mean, like, in a reasonable moderation. It's got, like, acids that can help with, like, brain health and stuff. Like, I wish that I liked or could stomach seafood. I don't know what it is about it. Like, I can't deal with it. Because, like, I would eat a lot of salmon if I liked it. Like, I'd do it. I'd do it for the healths. But instead, I hate it. I can respect people who eat salmon. Is that good enough? Yes, the travesties. See, you came to the crochet stream and you left with a new name. We are collecting W's here. Salmon over chicken. I mean, that's fair. You know what, Sydney? We can be the, like, land and sea equivalents of each other. How about that? I love chicken. Like, fried chicken has gotta be, like, my favorite food. So good. Tried a new sushi roll? You Sydney Crystal? Eel with shrimp. Wow, that's interesting. Never heard of anything like that. Surf and turf? Oh my gosh. Wait, if you're the surf, does that mean I'm a turf? I don't like that. Yeah, you're realizing now, huh? Yeah. Especially specifically because it's me, that's a big oh no. A turf? Trav? Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like an acronym. It's like turf but with like E instead. So, I uh you know, not surprisingly, I'm not that. Sushiro with the name Dragon? Oh, interesting. It if it has the name Dragon, it's usually with eel. Wonder why that is. No, don't start calling me turf. No, Crystal. I'm fine with being turf with a U. You know, I can be dirt. I can do that. I can pull it off. I have picked up so many Minecraft dirt blocks. I'm prepared. Like, you know, that's a typical Queese thing. Just, I can be dirt. Give me dirt any day. You just watch me. I will be topsoil. Maybe peat. A little bit of loam. This is another Sydney's specialties, I guess. These plants and things. Sydney, I'm currently crocheting, like, no, not currently, because, like, currently I'm crocheting an octopus, but, like, in general, like, these days I have been crocheting a, like, a hanging potted plant that I'm gonna hang in my room. And I don't know if that's kind of, like, sacrilege, because, like, why don't you just get, like, a real plant, but, like, I'm so bad at caring for plants. It would just die immediately, I think. It wouldn't last very long. Yeah, there's a cute, yeah, I think it's gonna be really cute. It's got, like, the curly little, like, hanging down things, so, yeah. I think it'll be a fun one. Okay, this is the bottom of the octopus. I don't know how well, I know the yellow is kind of light, so I don't know how well it's coming up on the video, but... So I'd finish this off and then we're gonna flip it around and do the other side. This might take a while. I really am crocheting slow today. Usually I would be a lot faster. Society is scary, you're so right. You're overrun by plants. One is a few feet taller than me? What, so what is it, like 4 feet then? Headless octopus, yeah. It's just the octo part. Okay. So the underside is yellow, maybe we'll make the top blue. So I'm basically gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna run on the other side. Oops, not pulled all the way through. It's huge. Nice. Yes, yeah, I'd love to see your giant plant. Okay. I realize I'm not really, like, explaining anything I'm doing, like, which I assume is probably fine. Like, it's more of like a just like, you know, watch me crochet kind of thing. Oh, you know what? I was gonna switch to the bigger hook. But yeah, if you're ever like, what the heck are you doing? I can explain stuff. Okay, yeah, and for this one, I like crochet in the middle stitch, so it's like so weird. Like on this side, I like pull it through. Oops. Not pull it through that hard. You can probably tell by now that like I have a bad thing of like with my hands, they don't like shake, but I like spasm basically really easily. So like I'll be like generally have motor control and then just suddenly like what? But you know, we're figuring it out. Wait, how did I end up a stitch short on this? Okay, whatever, we'll figure it out. I guess that's fine. You're exploring a house looking for stuff to buy? Just a regular Tuesday. You're spawn-proofing caves in Minecraft to reduce lag. That's good. Yeah. Is this on Sepacraft? Oh, you can use spectator mode. Yeah, that's helpful. It's always good if you can like reduce lag and make it more player friendly. I think we talked about this on my last Minecraft stream, which I guess was just my last stream. But I kind of tend to like always play Minecraft in this like survival, well, I guess like in survival mode, but like, you know, like in like a survival mindset. So like I rarely do like farms and stuff like that. So like I never like think to do stuff like, oh, spawn proof caves and you know, like all this. I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna hopefully not die for the next 5 minutes. You know, I'm gonna make a dirt house and gonna find sheep, like all that kind of stuff. So I think it's awesome that you do like, I don't know, that advanced kind of stuff maybe. Sepacraft season 4.5. That's right. Oh wait, this is a decrease here. That's right. Yeah. Oh, an amplified world. I love that. I did an amplified. Like I have just like a single player like file that I did just for fun. It's one of my favorite like, I don't know, just like the home setup that I have there. It's so fun because I made, of course, like you gotta, my my home base is like way at the top of this really tall mountain. It's like, it's super nice. Sometimes if you go up high enough, they don't, you know, mobs don't spawn. So it's kind of nice as like a safe area. Yeah, you have years and years of. Yeah, no, I mean the more experience of how. I mean, I don't think it's bad the way I play Minecraft. And yeah, and I guess if I had, you know, play Minecraft for 7 or 8 more years, I would probably get bored of just doing, you know, dirt house life. So like that's fair, but like I still think it's just like it's not bad the way I play. It's just cool that you know, do all this like advanced stuff. Like it's not just like a casual like, oh, a game, you know, I've played like a little bit or whatever, but it's like, you know, like a real, almost there's like a science to it or whatnot. So I think that's really cool. You have 10 plus years, Trav? Wow. I think I have 10 plus years being alive. According to random strangers, most people don't seem to think I have 10 plus, you know, years being alive. People probably think I'm like 9. You like my belts on the realm? Thank you. Oh yeah, my actually, you know what? On your realm, Sydney, that whole area that I had, that's definitely my favorite home base area I've ever made. I mean, I followed like a tutorial video to make like the main house, you know, like the log cabin feel, but it's not like it's just that particular, it's not even any one particular building I had there that I just really loved. It was just like the whole vibe of it, and the cohesion, and also the diagonal storage room was like kind of epic. Especially because I didn't have any kind of, like, I didn't follow a tutorial for that or anything. I just went like, oh, I need to make a storage room, and I went, what if I made it diagonal? Yeah, how fast I got it up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it just worked out so well. Storage room is your favorite part. Yeah, it was great. It's beautiful. Okay, so we have the basic body of the octopus done. Kind of looks like a little flower. Or we have the bottom of the body, I should say. Now we're basically just gonna build a sphere on top of this. It's got a loose thread here. Let me get that with a smaller hook. Pull it through here. Yeah, the storage room is your favorite, but me too. I love that storage room. So that's kind of on the Smallcraft server. We have that, like, it's like a circular storage room, so it goes around, and it was very much inspired by my diagonal storage room. You've never heard of a diagonal storage room, Crystal? Really? Yeah, it was so great. I don't know if I have a picture of it somewhere. Maybe one day I'll show it, or I can maybe recreate it somewhere. But yeah, it's actually like a great system. I really liked the diagonal storage room. Maybe it's kind of small, so let me do all decreases here. Yeah. You've never made one? Seen some cool designs? Yeah. Oh, a library storage room. I love that. That's so nice. Yeah. I like storage rooms. Something about the organization of it is very satisfying. And you kind of can make them kind of big. But yeah, because it's on the diagonal, it's like only one part of the chest needs to be showing. So. Oh, and in that amplified world that I did, that was another one where I had like a circular storage room. Oh, I guess when I say circular storage room, it sounds like it's just a circular room with storage, which I guess this one is. But yeah, it was like, it's just, I don't know, something about the design I did is really pretty, because the middle of the room is then this like fountain kind of thing. There's like chests along the wall. But the one on Smallcraft is genuinely like, there's like an inner circle too, so like, I don't know, I'm just pretty proud of that design. It just looks really pretty too. Ooh, storage hall and Suppercraft. Mud and granite. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm not a big fan of granite, like the unpolished granite in particular. It's a little busy. It's kind of like gravel for me. But oops. I would be interested though to see that. Like it'd be interesting to see how you make mud and granite work. Mud? Is that like, wait, is that like dirt blocks actually, now that I think about it? I didn't know mud was a block. But yeah, no, that's That's really interesting. I love seeing people use like unusual block palettes. Because I'm gonna be honest, like, um, ever since the update with amethyst geodes, I kind of like, you know, I'll sometimes work with a variety of palettes. That's part of why Sydney, the my like base area on your realm, like I loved so much because it was different than my normal. I don't work with like a ton of wood, um, but yeah, I'm bad about making a lot of builds that like are just you know, deep slate, calcite and amethyst, or like in general, like I might use other blocks, but it's generally gonna be some kind of black block, a white block, and then a pop of like pink or purple. So kind of, you know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna like do something different, and then I end up building like the same the same colors. So like small craft, I mean, granted, like we were like, oh, we're gonna do like a pastel theme, so I use like the pink and the purple and the white, but then I brought in a lot of like the deep slate and everything, and I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks like all of my builds, and like glass and stuff, like purple glass and everything, like, yeah. It's a little repetitive, but you know, maybe it's like a brand, you know, that's my brand is the black, white, and purple. Um, I don't know. Okay. Ugh, this like blue yarn is kind of weird to work with. Something about the texture. I mean, it doesn't look weird, I don't think. Let me see it. It probably just looks like the other yarn. It's also like the details are small, but it's kind of like scratchy. It's weird. Oh my gosh, I got a screenshot. Who could this be from? Oh, that's super cool, Crystal. Yeah, I do see what you mean. I like that. It's definitely like not a scheme I would have expected, but it really works. That's so cool. Yeah, and I like that it's in the amplified world, so it's like up there in the cliff. That's really pretty. Autistic. Got the what? Okay, now we're gonna do increases to make the body big again. I probably didn't need to do this decrease section, but wait, did I put that in the same? No, I didn't. But you know, it's just gonna give it that extra bit of shape here. You want to see too? Yeah. Crystal, you're just gonna have to share it with Trav. You're gonna have to share with the class. Yeah, I really like building. I mean, like, other than when I'm streaming, like when I'm streaming, I do like, you know, survival type stuff, and like challenges and everything, but pretty much when I play Minecraft, it's just like I'm mostly just building. I don't really do anything else. um well, I mean, I guess I do because like because I don't make farms and stuff like that much. Um I spend a lot of time gathering resources. So like I guess in a sense, oh, you already sent it to Trav. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess it's kind of like the complete experience of the game is, you know, doing a variety of activities so you have resources to like do whatever it is you want to do, and in my case it's like building a nice house and stuff. My character is already starving most of the time. Starving and running at top speed at all times. So like I may as well give them one nice thing of having a nice house. which they see a lot because they're constantly dying and getting sent back to said house when they die. So, you know, gotta make it a pretty place to reanimate to. This might end up being a more than 2-hour stream, which I haven't done a lot of. I can't believe it's gonna take me like 2 hours to make an octopus, but with the legs it's a little complicated. And because I'm going slow today. If we do another crochet stream, I'll hopefully be faster. And this part should go faster, like doing the body, because it's just really simple. Okay. Now let me see if I can do this math correctly on how much to increase it by. We'll start with like maybe like two single crochet and then an increase. I think that'll be good. Nice thing about crochet, like, you know, I said it's gonna be like Bob Ross style. No mistakes, only happy accidents. It's kind of similar in that too. Like, there's really no lethal mistakes in crochet. It's very forgiving. And I don't knit, so I don't know if that's different in knitting, but in crocheting, you can always, if you take the hook out, basically it stops the knots from unraveling. But if you take the hook out, you can unwind as far back as possible until you've tied something on. So, your reverse burglar. Nice one to have. Yeah. That's, you know, that's what it's all about. But yeah, with crocheting, like, I could grab this, and I don't want to undo too much, but like, you can just keep going backwards. It like keeps unfurling itself. So that can be really frustrating when you worked on something for a long time, and then like you like go to get up and you accidentally step on the end of like your thread or whatever, and like pull on it, and then it completely undoes what you've been working on. But that's like, you know, part of why you have like a little, I put a paper clip in here usually, but like some kind of thing to hold the stitch, because it'll keep it from unwinding. Like, I can only unwind this row because once it hits that paper clip, it won't be able to pull it through. So it's mostly to mark, the paper clip is mostly to mark the start of this row, and when I have to start a new one, but like, it can also serve as like a safeguard so it can't unwind. A lot of strategies in crochet. Bet you didn't know it was such a strategy-based sport or whatever. You know what else there's a lot of these little guys, little ends. Let me move them off to the side here. To the yarn graveyard. Yeah, someone asked me today, I was telling them about some of my crochet projects, and like one of them is that I made these ties that it's like a just a normal shaped tie made out of crochet. So it's like, it doesn't, you know, it's just like the flat, basically like piece of you know, like a tie is just like a strip of fabric basically that's shaped a certain way. So you still have to tie it in like a traditional you know, like tie knot. But it's then, so I have the one that I was wearing today, is like patterned like a calico cat. So it's got like the orange and black spots on like white, and then at the end, instead of being a point like ties normally are, it like It's a little cat paw, so it's got like the little bumps and then the little like toe beans and stuff on there. Um, so it's a very popular part of my wardrobe. Like people are always commenting on it. And so this person asked me like so I was telling her about that in another thing I did that was kind of like out of the box. She's like, man, like how do you think of these things? And I don't remember what I said because I was like, I don't know, like how do you respond to that? I'm like, I just do. And so I responded. I was like, yeah. What did I say? I was like, oh yeah, like I traded in my sanity for creativity or something like that. I'm like, I meant it as a joke, but honestly, it's true. Like, um, it's like why be a functional person when you can be a creative one, when you can have a cat tie. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. I can't think about things normally, but I sure can make some wacky crochet things. Yeah, Crystal, the crochet, the all new strategy based video game. Very true. It's a turn-based strategy crochet. Felt that, yeah. Right. Yeah, because that's something like I find people say like a little too much, like worryingly much, like wow, you're so creative, or like how do you think of these things, or like wow, like I could have never thought. And I'm like, I know, like, the intent is to say something nice about me, and so I do appreciate it. It's nice for people to say, but like I just hear stuff like that so much that I'm like, it's just specifically like how did you even think of that, like both for like how did I think to make something, but also like I don't know, I tell a lot of like out of the box or like creative jokes. Like I'm a big pun person. Sorry, I hit the camera. And so like people be like, wow, how did you like think of that? I'm like, I don't know, because my brain is not normal. That is how. Like, I'm sorry, it's not a skill, it's a curse. So I don't know, but it does give us fun little crochet guys, so like I guess it's not all bad. If I wasn't gonna have my sanity anyway, I may as well be able to make a crochet octopus. Hopefully this doesn't come out like lumpy looking. I might have made it like too wide. We'll see. I think as long as we stick to like the basic sphere pattern, it'll be good. Yeah, Crystal is kind of like when if someone asks you how you breathe so well, like exactly. Yeah. It's a mix of hyper-focused stubbornness and creativity. Yeah, right. I think that's very fair. I mean, it's kind of similar for me. It's just like I don't know, to be dramatic about it, I guess. It's like, how do you think of creative things? Well, like, I can't stop the thoughts, They're just always coming all the time. And sometimes they're really cool creative things among all the intrusive thoughts and complete nonsense that's constantly barraging my brain. So, like, I mean, that's kinda what's going on there. I just have way too many thoughts that some of them end up being good. Those are the ones I act on, the ones that are like, wow, that's cool and that's fun. Not the that's constantly going on in my brain, or the like, dial-up noises. Like I feel like that's honestly like basically like I just, I'm hearing like dial-up noises and static all the time, and then just yeah. Funny you should say. You're just describing my ADHD right now, because that's probably what I am describing. Because like I've never like been diagnosed with ADHD, but it's also like never been like on the table, Like my brother is like textbook ADHD, and like, you know, obviously, like, that's, you know, that's fine. Like, he kind of is aware of it, and that's the thing. Like, at this point, we just kind of are like, yeah, that's just like sort of how he is. Like, you know, it's like even though he's not been to like a doctor about it or anything, it's just like, you know, probably true. But I don't know. It's like anytime someone describes ADHD, like I'm like, it kind of sounds like my experience, but I think because I don't necessarily have it as strongly and apparently as he does, it's like, I don't know. I guess that's what they call masking or whatever. Like, um, I never had it the most, so like it was always kind of like I didn't have it, I guess. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Maybe I don't have ADHD at all, but kind of feels like it sometimes. Like the fact that I like kind of forgot I was just talking just now. I just started rambling about something. Probably something going on there. It's like, oh, am I streaming? Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. I was just bringing the dial-up noises on the outside. Yeah, brain static. Right, so many thoughts happening all at once. Sometimes, like, I don't know if anyone else does this, but I like literally am like I queue up thoughts. Like things just start happening and I'm like, okay, I can't think about both of these things at once, but this one thing is like kind of being really pressing right now. So I'm gonna like give it its due time. I'm gonna think about that for the next little while, and then I gotta remember to switch gears and go back to thinking about this other thing that's also like trying to, you know, elbow its way in. Do you do that? Like, I don't know. I do that a lot with like, I feel like I like write songs in my brain. Like I can hear them like it's a already written like song that I've heard before, but it's just playing in my brain, and I, you know, you can't like. It just keeps going and going. Like it'll just keep going on repeat until you like listen to it. You know, you like give it the due time, and you're like, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm not trying to block it out. Like I hear it and everything. Um, but I'll have like multiple trying to go at the same time. So I'm like, okay, gotta think about this one first, and then when we get that taken care of, then I'll come back and like listen to this other one. I don't know. That sounds weird when I describe it out loud, but I don't know. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, you kind of need to do it or else like you'll feel exhausted. The doctor literally said, "Yeah, you're super ADHD." Yeah. Um. Yeah. Right. The thing about like good at imagining voice. Yeah, I do that too. I didn't know that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's an ADHD thing or anything, but that's like super easy for me. Like it, if I've heard a voice before, I can hear it in my head. So like when I read like I like webcomics a lot. So like if I read a comic, the the characters always have voice actors, and sometimes like my brain can just completely synthesize it, like synthesize a real sounding voice even if I haven't heard someone that I can think of with that voice. But a lot of the time it's just like any voice I've heard before. So like if I've seen, you know, you know, like anime voice actors or something like that, I can hear that voice reading out the lines like in my head. I don't know. I know that not everyone can do it, but I don't know if it's like common or not. Yeah, some people are just better at it than. Yeah, right. I think that's the case. So, my friend Joe and I have had conversations that I have like a like hyperactive imagination. There's definitely like I can imagine things too well, so I struggle with like I can't always trust my memory because I can imagine something like as clear as if it were a memory. Oh my gosh, how many stitches am I on? I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. As clearly as if it were like a memory. So like, uh, I'll oftentimes, I don't know if I've told someone something yet because I thought, oh, I need to say this thing to someone, and then I imagine, like, completely involuntarily imagine myself telling the person the thing, and then like 10 seconds later I'm like, wait, did that actually happen, or was that just an imagination thing? So yeah, so I struggle with that. But my friend Joe says he noticed that like a few years back it was like his ability to imagine things versus like memory, like that imagination factor has like shut off. So like he can remember things he's seen, but if someone says like, I think the example he gave is like, imagine an apple, he can remember an apple he's seen. But then it's like, now imagine that same apple being blue. It's like he can't imagine it at all. I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. So yeah, I don't know. So like, I imagine you would probably have a difficult time, you know, basically like hearing voices in his head, like say something he hasn't heard. Yeah. You had an exam today? Yeah. Right. Yeah, like you have the memory of something that happened, and then um you start overthinking. Yeah, no, I get that. It's really frustrating. Um and it's kind of scary if you can't trust your memory a lot of times. You already let the dog inside, but you couldn't remember. So he just walked up to you. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I have stuff like that a lot. Um it's just difficult. Well, and then I know like I a lot of times, if I like, I'll have dreams and they'll be really vivid, and a lot of times I don't remember my dreams, and sometimes I wonder if things that I get confused about or I can't remember is like due to like having a dream, but I just don't remember the dream, so it's subconsciously like my brain accepts it. But it's like if it's super vivid, well, like all my dreams are always like super vivid, um and like I'll just wake up and like not know if it was real or not. Good night, Devin. Thanks for stopping by. It was great to see you. You'll get to see the finished octopus when I give it to you later. um, the Notre Dame octopus. We're making good progress. This part is definitely going faster than the legs. Oh, you have inattentive ADHD, Crystal. You're not hyperactive, but mentally. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. It's just like, I feel like, I mean, again, maybe it's just that idea of masking or whatnot. Like, it's not really that you're fine, it's that you've been around enough people who are fine, or at least act like it, that you know how to imitate it. I think that's like what I've got going on, because I'm always shocked to hear like when people have not had the same experience with brain. Um, but then people like, yeah, so like I've had people be like, really, you don't peg me as someone who has, or like I don't peg you as someone who has um like ADHD or like attention problems. And I'm like, yeah, that's because I also have stomach ulcers from taking school too seriously, so like I learned how to not show it. Which is, I don't know, not healthy probably, but yeah, that's where we at. You've never had vivid dreams? Oh yeah, like they say a fever dream. Um and I definitely get that. Like I have like I have a lot more experience with migraine dreams, I would say, because when, oh boy, when I have a migraine and I sleep whew, that is the craziest sleep I get, because once I fall asleep, it is like someone whacked me over the head with a brick. It's like the hardest I ever sleep, and then I have very, very vivid dreams. Like, I always have vivid dreams, but it's like, I'll have like a sleeping state and like a waking state, and everything. But like, when I have migraines, it's like it feels more real than reality sometimes. And then when I wake up, it's like I absolutely cannot tell the difference between my dream and reality. So like I when I was a college student, I worked at the university library, and I had really bad migraines, and this was before I like saw a migraine doctor, and got treated for them. So I just have like completely untreated migraines like all the time. So like, which I do not recommend at all. Like, I cannot unrecommend it any harder, because like that was a rough time. Um and I'd have like migraines like, as many days as I didn't have them. Which I still do, but like I have medicine for it. Like when I get a migraine that I can take. But one time when I was I was supposed to work that day at the library, and I had a really bad migraine, so I like skipped class and like went to sleep. And then I had to like go to work later that day. So like, in my like migraine dream state, I like dreamed that I got up, went about my routine, like got ready, got dressed, got all my stuff together, and then like walked across campus and up the hill to like get to the library, and like walked into work, and then it would like reset. Like, it was like, it's like a like one of those Russian nesting doll dreams where like you wake up from the dream and you're like, wow, I'm awake now, but then it turns out that was a dream, and then you wake up from that, and it turns out that was a dream, so you wake up from it. Was like that. It was like some kind of weird inception thing, which like is not like unheard of for me. Like, I've had that happen a few times, but like this was like so bad, because it was like I would like like wake up, and then get ready to go to work, and then walk to work, and then at some point, usually like right as I was walking in, or like was about to get there or something like that, it would just like I'd wake up again and then go about their it was like, it was awful. Yeah, I know, it's so weird. If you remember a dream, it's gonna be something like mundane, like going to a gas station. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. A lot of dreams are pretty like mundane. Well, I say that. A lot of my dreams feel mundane because I have really weird ones. Like, my brain just accepts, like, this thing that's happening is normal. But they're usually pretty crazy. Like, they're like movie level stuff. It's not like, I go to the store today. I pet a dog today. It's like, the moon falls down and crushes everyone. But that's like normal, in the dream world or whatever. So, get hit by a bus. But like, that just happens, Yeah, it was pretty awful. Especially that like the nesting doll dream. Like, that particular time was especially like, it sucked, because then when I did finally wake up for real, I mean, it did feel somewhat different, but like I was like not sure if it was real that time. So like, I went to work and I was like probably very like obviously off, and I think at some point, my boss asked like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And I was like, I don't did I say this? Like, oh my gosh, if I did, like, I feel so bad for her, because it'd be so weird. But I was like, I think she was like, yeah, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know if this is real right now or not. Which, like, imagine if like some student worked for you and they just seem sick, and then you're like, are you okay? And they're like, are you real? Like, that would be so weird. I'd freak out. But yeah, I probably did say that to her. But at least I was just like, I'm sick, but yeah. Weird times. Okay, at this point I'm just going around with a single crochet on the octopus. So this is going to be the body, and we're just going to do a bunch of rounds of single crochet and then just do a reverse of what we were doing on the bottom. And they'll start going faster the smaller the rounds get once we get to the top. You would be so concerned if someone said that to you. Yeah, you should be. Yeah. It was concerning, so... I was not in like a fit state to work, like half the time when I worked there, which is a shame because it was a really great place to work. I mean, like if you're a college student, I think most people know this, but the libraries is like the best place to work. Especially if you're a nerd, or just even an introvert in general. It's like just a good environment, I feel like. So, I highly recommend. But yes, so I loved working at the libraries, but I was like, sorry, I was like, very ill most of the time. I should not have been, working without having any kind of medication for my migraines. Especially because I did like graphic design, and my migraines affect my eyes a lot. So like, when I lived on campus it was different, but like now that I like drive to work, it's like I can't go to work if I have a really bad migraine because I can't see really, or like I can see but like they say like migraine auras. I'll have a lot of issues with that, so like I definitely can't see well enough to drive. But like yeah, I did graphic design and it's like I couldn't like move my eyes quickly because I had a migraine and stuff, so I'd have to like, if I would have to look from one side of the screen to the other, I'd just have to like really slowly like pan my vision or like just move my head or something instead of moving my eyes. It was like so weird. So yeah, weird times. Hilarious. I think like this is probably gonna end up being like my longest stream, and I love that's like the crochet stream is the real marathon marathon stream. We're making the dream work, making a beautiful octopus. Should we put eyes on this? I have little crochet eyes. I have to go get them from the closet, but I can put eyes on it, or I can just leave it as like a blank little mannequin guy. It's gonna have stripes, so it won't be like completely plain, but it won't, it'll look more alive if it has eyes. You've only had a migraine a handful of times. Oh yeah. They're bad because I used to think like people say like migraine headaches, but it's for me like the headache is like one component of like the migraines are pretty systemic for me, because I guess it's like the proximity to like your brain, or there's just so many nerves there that can get messed up. So I mean there's stuff like nausea affecting like my vision, and like I just get a lot of pressure behind my eyes. Like I sometimes worry, I'm like, are my eyes gonna explode? Like this, it feels like it. But there's even things like it took me the longest time to figure out what was going on. I get like pseudo fevers when I have migraines a lot of the time, so I feel like I'm having a fever. Like I get like intense chills, and like I feel like I'm sweating buckets and stuff. Like I swear, like I can feel the sweat and stuff. And but it'll be like chills and like I'll get goosebumps, but then like also like heat waves and stuff. So like just full on like a full blown fever, um, which is why when I had strep throat like a few years back when I was in college, I didn't. Part of why I didn't realize I had strep instead of just a little bit of a sore throat. Well, it was a bad sore throat, but like you know, like I was like, oh man, that's unfortunate. I have this strep throat. I just thought I was having the migraine fevers, but no, it turns out I was having real fevers. Um, but yeah, no, it's like the weirdest thing. But like I'll have completely normal body temperature and I won't actually be sweating until like if it gets really bad, then I start sweating from just like you know being in pain and uncomfortable, I guess. But yeah, no, it's like I would swear like I can't tell the difference between them. Um, oh no, your internet died. Oh no, 400 ping. Wow, I'm sorry. Sounds like you've been having a rough time with the internet so far. It's not been in your favor. Oh, too many people are trying to stream stuff. Oh no. Yeah. I think when I started my stream, I was the only one. I mean, like we live in like a apartment, so there's like other people obviously in the building, but like I was the only one of me and my roommates who was home. They might have come home during this time, but so that kind of worked in my favor. Although I know it's dropping earlier, but um, I might be the only one streaming anything. But I'm sorry that you're having internet troubles. I think I'm making its body too big. It's gonna be like a wide boy. I don't know if you can see that. It is coming out very cute. I'm glad I did the stripes. And I'm glad I did the feet alternating colors. That's hitting the brain worms just right. Okay. Gotta go turbo mode. Gotta go speed mode. Oops. Speed mode is gonna make me be more clumsy though. Okay. I think I do like I call them speed flowers. It's just normal flowers. It's like a rose kind of thing. But I learned how to make it to make like crochet flower crowns. And so it's like I think the fastest thing I can make. Which is interesting because it's a more complex thing than like beginner level, which was about when like I started doing them. I was still pretty beginner level, but yeah, so it's like I can make like an entire flower in like 5 minutes or something. It's probably less than that. Like if I make a small one, I can make it. Oh yeah, yeah. I think the flower crowns turned out really cute. Um, I made like pride flag flower crowns. I put them on my Etsy store, and like it's hard. Like if you're a small Etsy store, also like you're just not gonna get a lot of purchases from your listing. So I didn't actually end up having anyone buy them. So I think I took them off. But like you know, my Etsy store is on pause right now. So maybe when I reopen it, I'm gonna add a bunch of things because I don't have a lot on there. But yeah, maybe I could redo the flower crown. Ugh, sorry, I just I don't know if you saw that, but I hit the camera kind of hard. Okay, there we go. Yeah, no, I like the flower crowns. I think they're fun. They, in terms of wearing, they kind of work better if you have longer hair, I think, because they look really big on my head. Although when my hair is kind of grown out, it's very fluffy, so it's not quite as long. But yeah, got fluffy hair too. Tell you when you reopen? Okay, I will. Yeah. You know, I plan to put like the cat ties on and stuff, and I have other ideas for things. And just some plushies. Oh yeah, one thing I do I have been meaning to add for a while is I do like Minecraft plushies as well, because I figured out how to make square things. Because it usually, like, crochet works best for soft, rounder shapes, just because it's made out of like literal like yarn and stuff. It doesn't do a lot of hard edges, but I figured out how to make like a cube. So like I've made like Minecraft blocks, and I have like on my bag that I carry around everywhere. I have like a Minecraft bee, and people are always being like, "Oh my gosh!" You know, like, "Oh my gosh, like I love the Minecraft bee. I recognize." It. And one time I made an Among Us like guy, just the like red is sus, um, like just one of the little guys. As a point, because I was talking to my sister-in-law about crochet stuff, and it got mentioned. She was like, "Oh, it would take a long time to make like a Minecraft Among Us imposter or something." Or she didn't say it would take a long time, but I was just like, "Yeah, I bet you can make one in like, you know, 10-20 minutes or something. Definitely faster than I'm making this." And so she's like, "I don't know." And so I like made one kind of quickly to be like, "Yeah." And so now I just kind of have that. So it's on my bag for the longest time that it finally fell off. You would buy that ironically. Yeah, well, I thought it might be fun. Like, I've seen a lot of other Etsy listings for them, but maybe doing like a keychain version might kind of make it different. Of like custom Among Us imposter. Yeah, to torment your siblings with. Exactly. But like, so you know, there'd be a certain like you could choose the color, and then there'd be like the ones like the you could choose a hat like the egg or the leaves, or you know, the actual hat. And stuff like that. Like you could do a custom order one. Might be kind of fun. But yeah, no, so like, yeah, Minecraft blocks and the bee for sure. People always like the bee that I have on my bag, so I think there are probably a lot of Minecraft bees out there, like on Etsy and stuff, but you know, I could still do one. I could do the keychain version. But yeah. Yes, they're super cute. And I definitely want to add those. Because I think for a while I had the like, I think I have them in a box somewhere. I should put them out. But like, yeah, the Minecraft blocks. So I did like a dirt block, of course, and like TNT. The crafting table doesn't look great because it's kind of a more complex block. But I'm actually surprised that I managed to like make one. Yeah, how many can you buy? Yeah, no, I'll definitely let you know when I start making. I'm hoping over the summer I have more time now, so that's like how I'm streaming regularly. Um, no. And yeah, so I hope to do more Etsy stuff again too, because whenever I wear my cat tie and people are like, "Oh my gosh, like how did you make that?" and stuff. I'm always like, "Oh yeah, like I have an Etsy store," and people are like, "Oh yeah, give me the link," and I'm like, "Oh, it's not active right now." um, and it was just fun to do. So yeah, I'll definitely reopen that again sometime. Okay, we can start to decrease now, I think. Well, I might do another row of single and then decrease. We're almost there. 2.5 hours. I know I wasn't crocheting for all of that, but I was crocheting for a significant amount of it. It's this is definitely a while. Yeah, crochet takes a while. It's something I've recently started doing. A friend at work and I have kind of made a habit of doing like craft lunches. So we do like at lunch break, we do like a different craft sort of. We just kind of mess around and experiment with every once in a while. And one that we did was ribbon wreaths because we thought like, oh, it'd be nice to like make decorations for our offices. Yeah, so we made like, you know, you buy like a metal like wire base, and then you take ribbon and you sort of tie it on. And oh yeah, you have a friend that you could gift one of the bees to. Yeah, that would be great. I think that would be really cute. Um, you know, something handmade is a nice gift too. But yeah, so we made these ribbon wreaths, and I just sort of like was trying it out, and mine turned out pretty good. I really liked it. And so then she like asked if I could, um, she didn't really like how hers turned out, and she wanted like a bigger one too. So she asked if she could like commission, um, uh, like a ribbon wreath for me, like I could make her one. And that's the one I made her is definitely the best looking one I made. It's also like really big actually. And she put it on the door to her office. But yeah, so I kind of got into doing that. I mean, I've only made like 3 by now, including that one. Um, but like, so like crocheting, it's like they turn out super cute and you can do some like really custom stuff. But the ribbon wreaths, like I tell you what, like that is like surprisingly fast. Like once I realized the technique, if I can just like take an afternoon, like you know, like after work or something like that, you know, put on like some videos on my computer, and then just like it's kind of monotonous, just pulling the ribbon through and then tying it. Like they look pretty professional, but you can do it like pretty quickly. So I was like, oh, I see why people sell these on Etsy because it's like, you know, I can do this in like a day or two, um, but like it looks like this big fancy thing. So, whereas the crochet it really takes some time. So like I made the mistake of I had an item that was very popular last year and I didn't set like a quantity limit on it at first. And it's also tough because you have to, if your listing sells out, you have to pay a fee to Etsy to like renew it, to basically have it. So you can't set like, oh, I'll only process 3 new orders every week. You just have to set your quantity limit to 3, and then it goes down, and then you have to pay a fee to Etsy to open it back up. So I was like, oh, well, I just won't have like a limit, and that was a mistake. So I was like doing way too many of them, and like I just didn't have the time. Like this is smaller. This is like half the size of the octopuses I was selling then, and like it's, I mean, granted, while I've been doing something else, but it's taken me 2.5 hours. So like, yeah, I did not have the time to do all these orders. It was so overwhelming. And yeah, I just like didn't know what to do with that. It was just like too much time commitment. Whereas like the wreaths is something I could do a bunch of those. So I don't know. Oh, do the should do an invisible decrease. Yeah. You want to get back into crochet? Yeah, it's hard when you're busy, especially to like learn when you already have a lot going on. And yeah, it's hard to pick a hobby to do each day. I get that because I do a lot of like sort of creative based hobbies, and I like to just like do a sampling. Crochet is honestly like I'm surprised that it's one of the things that I've leaned into the most. Like that I've learned how to do it enough that I can like sell some of the things I crochet. So I totally get that. You can draw, play Minecraft, Pokemon, read, write, journal. Yeah, I get that. It's like, why do I have to go to school or work? I just want to do hobbies all the time. Yeah, and you're right. Like, yeah, after that experience of not having a limit on my shop, I'm wiser now. Yeah, no, I definitely think it was like good experience, but it's like, yeah, I was like, oh no, I had the panic of I won't be able to complete these orders on time. But I got through it. Yeah, and you want to learn Spanish as well. Yeah, learning a language is super great. And that's something that kind of transfers to other parts of your life. It like opens up the things that you can do, and you can make new friends. So, yeah, you know, you won't adhere to a schedule. I totally get that. Yeah. Well, and then for me, like the creative activities and hobbies that I do, most of them are just for fun. Um, and so it's really just like whatever I feel a whim to do on that particular day. So like if I made a schedule for myself of like what things I'm gonna work on, it would be like I'd just end up like it would feel like work to to be doing my hobbies because I'd be like, well, I don't want to do that one today. um so yeah, I don't know. I just kind of pick it up whenever. Um but so it's nice to have like one or two things that I do more as like a passion project type thing, and then other things that are just hobbies for fun. So like the crochet stuff, I mean, I do it as a hobby for fun sometimes too. So like I'm making like a plant and stuff now, but like I also, for the Etsy shop, I do it as like a not a job, but like something I can make money on. So like, you know, I have accountability for that maybe. To not just do it when I feel like it, but to do it with the goal of making something happen. Oh, you're planning to go to Spain to study abroad? Yeah, that's great. I mean, of course, I work in an honors college, and so we're like really huge on study abroad, which I think it's just a good experience. It's not like I don't. Some people would say, like at the university, like everyone needs to study abroad. I don't know if that's true. Some people, if it just doesn't add any value to you, you don't have to. But I think most people could gain a lot from it. So, and especially if you're studying abroad in a country that doesn't speak, your native language. So I studied abroad in Ireland. I don't really like traveling. I like seeing other places, but I hate the process of traveling. And I honestly, I don't like being away from home very much. But I did, of course, want to study abroad at some point. I went to Ireland, which was still a really great experience. But I think there's a lot of value in going somewhere where the language is different. And granted, they speak a lot of, I guess, Irish Gaelic. Is the name of the language. So I mean, it was everywhere, but like we didn't have classes on it, and I didn't really learn any Irish Gaelic from it. I was really just exposed to the language, but it's still a very good experience. Just seeing a different way of life. But Ireland is not super different from the U.S. But it was interesting I'd almost like highlighted the small cultural differences more. So like there's like, I don't know, in the US there's a very big like the customer is always right kind of vibe. Wait, 2, 3, 4, oh. Hold on. So like with how customer service works is like you just expect like people are just gonna like cater to all of your whims and everything. But like there it's a lot it's like people who are in customer service are just people. So it was like a bank holiday the day that we arrived, and we stayed in like apartments, and they were not like great apartments because it was like a last minute, like we were supposed to stay in student dorms and it didn't work out. And so one person, like the door to her room was just locked, even though there's no one in there. Somehow it got locked from the inside when it was empty. And so they needed like a master key or to get it like rekeyed or something like that. So like they were calling like the owner and like then later like a locksmith and stuff, and no one would come and fix it because they're like it's a bank holiday. And so like our teacher was like, but our student is locked out, what do you mean? It's like, they're like, yeah, that's not my problem though. It's like you don't exist to serve a customer kind of thing, which is, it's just an interesting difference. Hey, Irish people take no crap from anyone. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they were like pretty much always like really nice, but it's just like, yeah, like you don't stop being a person just because you're like behind a cash register or like wearing a uniform, which is pretty much how it feels like it works in America. So yeah, It was a good experience. And like, I feel like I caught on to that pretty. And I'm just generally like a very low key person, so like I don't go around being like, this is like, as a customer, this is my right or whatever. Um, but some of the people I was on the trip with were so used to being treated like VIPs just because they were a customer somewhere that they did not gel with that well. So yeah, it's just interesting. But yeah, you just want to see the world. Yeah, yeah, you've been to. So have you gone to other countries before, or just seen places in the U.S.? I in pretty much until I went on that study abroad, I didn't realize that like how many people have not left um like the US specifically, because I know it's easier to travel between you know like some like European countries and stuff like that, but in the US it's like a lot of people just like you have to like fly across the ocean or pretty far to get anywhere. So I don't know, a lot of people haven't gone. But yeah, I grew up traveling a lot from a young age. um we were a military family, so that's part of it. Like I was almost born in Egypt, um, but I ended up being born in New Jersey instead. Big difference there. um, but yeah, so like I don't know. There were just a number of reasons we would just go on trips to other countries, um, pretty regularly. So I can't count. Well, I could, but like it would just take a while. All the like other countries I've been to. But like if we're talking about places I've been to for more than like you know 8 hours or something like that, it's like a different story. It's a shorter list, but it's still a list. Um, but I didn't realize like I was like 20, and there were like a lot of people my age or older who like had never left the country or had never flown in a plane before, and I was just like, wow, I didn't realize how many people had just not had that experience. So it was like really like new and exciting for them. I was like, wow, like that's awesome. Like I'm glad that this is like a big deal for you. Oh yeah, you've just been to other states. Most different place you've seen is Hawaii. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like Hawaii is kind of I mean like it's still distinctly the US, but just I don't know, because of the cultural background and everything. It's just like it feels different. Like a lot of times um people forget that Hawaii is part of the US, like it's an actual state. Um and so people be like I had someone at the university ask if they could like as an advisor, they asked me if they could use a study abroad scholarship to go to Hawaii. And I was like, well, it's not abroad is the thing. um Only the really rich can afford to vacation. I mean that's sort of true, to vacation to like other countries. That's kind of true. But sometimes there's like opportunities where it's less expensive. I mean, because we definitely weren't like rich, or really rich, when I was growing up. But it's because we were like a military family, so there's a lot of like discounts on travel and stuff. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Um, but well, and then a lot of people, so half of my family is from Hawaii, so that's where my mom and her family are from. And like she ended up coming to the mainland when she married my dad because he was in the army, and that's how he ended up in Hawaii. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Um, when when I tell people like my family is from Hawaii, or like, oh, I'm going to Hawaii to visit my family, like I was like, whoa, that your family lives in Hawaii? That's amazing. Like, it's like they live at a resort or something, they think. I'm like, no, you're thinking of white people in Hawaii. No, we're Hawaii Asians. So they just live in a normal house in a normal neighborhood, which granted is like very expensive, but it's like, you know, there's like an adjusted cost in living. Like the cheapest houses in Hawaii are like cost more than like a big house on the mainland. Um, in some places. So I guess that's true, but it's like, yeah, no, they're not. They don't live in a resort. They just live in a normal place. Yeah, well, biology is a good career if you have an interest in Hawaii because like yeah, there's so much wildlife there. I mean, I know that's like a lot of people who do biology want to live in Hawaii, so it's competitive, but well, that's something Sydney, who was here earlier, she's a marine biology expert. So, I think I don't think she wanted to live in Hawaii anyway, though. But so like she could probably talk about, you know, that potential. But like certainly the marine life in Hawaii too is like, yeah, crazy. So yeah, not a lot of moose being eaten by orcas there though. Just kind of limited on the Hawaii meese. But yeah, Hawaii is really beautiful. Like I I've told my family like, yeah, you're not going to see me moving to Hawaii anytime soon. Cuz it would be easier for me to live there than like people who don't know anyone there. It's still like very expensive to move from there. Um so but like I don't want to live there. It's nice to visit every once in a while, but yeah, it is very beautiful though. Yeah, that's awesome. It's good that you have a dream job and like an idea of where that would take you. Um, Hawaii is certainly a great place to aim to live. Um, it's so nice. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab those eyes for our octopus because we're almost finished now. We just have to fill in the head basically. I will be right back. Probably saw me like flailing around a lot there. I got caught on all of my wires. It was a traumatizing experience. Okay. Let me adjust this. I think I bumped it a good deal. There we go. John Dew is weirdly specific. Oh, bioinformatics. That's awesome. Okay, got my crochet eyes here. It's kind of weird, like I keep forgetting that you can like see my hands, even though that's the whole point. But I'm so used to streaming and it's like I'm just like a little avatar on the screen. So it's weird now that it's like, oh, right. You can see the things that I'm talking about. Yeah, you saw the camera move a bit, yeah. You could pinpoint when I was stuck on the wires and then tried to get up and then probably yanked it. Okay, what do we think? Is that like a good sized eye? Wait, are these the same size? I don't... That one must be the big size one that got mixed in with the little compartment. The hand reveal, oh no. Yeah, I can never convince someone that I don't have tiny hands now. Be like, oh yeah, I'm big. I'm big and huge and tough. Oh, you saw the stream with my tiny little baby hands? No you didn't. Didn't see anything. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay, awesome. They look like they're crooked. Hold on, let me pull that out. It's always hard because as it winds around, the stitches get slowly higher, so it's hard to get them like perfectly lined up. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, and then we have the back. It's kind of like earrings, how you put them on. They look like little screws in there. I guess that's kind of what they are, and they got the ridges. Oh, this is the one where they're like impossible to put on. Do I not have the bigger backs anymore? No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. My strategy for these. The hole is like too small for the biggest size ones, so I just have to take scissors and stretch it. Yeah, my voice is clearly that of someone who is big and buff. I'm glad you recognize that. I mean, I think hearing my voice, you would know that I am the biggest and also the strongest. Oh my gosh, this is still too small. I'm gonna have to stretch it way out. It might break in half. I hope it does not, though. Yeah, I feel like I have the hands you would expect me to have with my voice. I don't know, I could be wrong. You can tell me. Oops. Oh my gosh, okay. I think it's just big enough to go in there. Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, yeah, well, because I've had these crochet eyes for a while, and it's mostly the big ones that I use, as you can see by the compartments are empty. So I eventually like just bought a set that are all like I think the size of these big ones or like just slightly larger. So I've had to fight with these ones for so long because the back it's just small. Yeah, I must be at least 6'7", absolutely, you know it. Like, ignore the fact that I have a series called Small Craft, like, I'm definitely big. I am a Lorg. Sorry, I know this is happening, like, off camera, partially, okay. One more, we're almost there. Okay. That should be big enough. There's no way it's not. These are the battles we have. See, people say, oh, you do crochet, your life is so soft, it must be so easy, it's very cushy. Like, no. The hard, difficult struggles of crocheting. My life is such agony. This is how I got to be so big. My muscles just got so huge from all of the stretching the crochet eyes. Okay. Oh, you know what? We should start putting in stuffing now, too. Go over here. I just have like a industrial size bag of cheap polyfill. Because that was the only one they had left when I went to the store a while back, was the really big bag of the like low quality polyfill. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll take this. Okay, let me fix the string that's sticking out. And then we stuff the legs, so they just need a tiny puff of stuffing each. Oh, get cheap pillows and use the fluff from those. Yeah, that's a good idea. Is that the one that's sticking out here? Or maybe this is the same one. Okay. Alright, now that we've stuffed the legs. Stuff the body. So we'll just put a little bit in there for now. And then as we close it up on the top, we can add more, and then we'll add the last little bit of filling, like right before we close it off. Which is hopefully coming up very shortly here. What I'll have to start doing for my business model is doing crochet streams and then like selling, auctioning off the final product live on stream. Created octopus. Somehow oh wait, I was using yellow. Somehow I can't imagine people will be flocking from far corners of the earth to get one. But you never know. A live Twitch auction sounds chaotic. I don't know. I feel like they probably do that. I wouldn't be surprised if there's entire channels that are just like auction channels. Like they just sell stuff. I don't know, maybe that violates some kind of law. But yes, I'm sure that would be chaotic. Although, I mean, to be fair, like, it'd probably only be about as chaotic as a real auction. Which are not known for their lack of chaos. but it's like when you're the one who purchases it, like you have to put your mailing address in the chat so I can send it to you. It's like, oh, this is weird. I've started getting all these promotional junk mails, like all these coupons and things. That's so crazy. How did that happen? I'd be like, heh. That's how I actually make the money. Not on selling the plushies, but on selling your marketable address to advertisers. Fair enough, yeah. We are so close to finish with this. Yeah, how could this have happened? That's really what it is. It's kind of like a story am I thinking of? Is it Portrait of Dorian Gray? Maybe. This type situation where like I steal your identity and I become you, and then like you have to become the new Quistavu. Like you get trapped in here, and then you have to stream until someone gives you like their personal information, and then you can like exchange with them, and they get trapped. It's like a never-ending cycle. This sounds like some kind of Black Mirror episode. It's like the curse of being the streamer. Or like some kind of Twilight Zone thing. Help you? What do you need help with? You would take up the mantle. Yes, you would do it with very much grace. Probably be a better Quistavu than I am. You know, I realized I didn't do the thing where you're supposed to scatter like the decreases, so I put them all in the same spot, so my guy's looking a little geometric, a little octagonal, one might say. Okay. And we'll put the last little bit right as we are finishing up. DVD. Oh, Dead by Daylight. Yeah, I assume that's what you're talking about. Ah, Fallout, nice. Finish up the rest in yellow so I can cut off the blue thread here and then continue on in yellow. You like chill games? Yeah, I'm more of a chill game kind of person. I played unpacking recently, which is sort of the inspiration for and sort of just like unintentionally super similar to like the game that I'm making. Like I didn't mean to, but I just thought like, oh, you know, it'd be a great game, one where you just clean stuff up. And then I like played unpacking and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like the same game. And yeah, it was like so relaxing, and I was just like, oh, it's so satisfying to just put stuff away. It's exactly my kind of game, which I guess makes sense why I'm making a very similar game. That is a raw line. The travesties coming in full swing. Okay. Time to stuff the octopus. This seems so violent. I'm just shoving his brains in here. He's got a lot of brains, at least. This is all the knowledge I give you. This is calculus right here. This is world language. This is dumb memes. We're gonna put a lot of that in there. It's gonna be mostly memes in your little head, actually. We're gonna do about 80% memes and 20% anything else. That's what I got going on, so. Oh no, your internet is dying. I'm sorry. You just have to hold on a little longer and you'll get to see the end of the octopus. Crystal's internet, you just need to last a little bit longer. Oh, well, I undid that, apparently. Hey yo, 3-hour stream, yeah. Thankfully, it's going to be just over 3 hours because, like, there's literally, like, 1 more minute. I think. One or 2 more minutes. Depending on how long it takes me to finish up the sewing up the top of the head. It shouldn't take long. But yes. I don't know, I mean, like, is that a good thing that it was a 3-hour stream in your book? Like, I feel like I usually aim for 2-hour streams. I mean, because usually I'm playing a game, so I can just choose to end it at 2 hours. And technically I could choose to end this at 2 hours, but I have a half-finished octopus. Yeah, you know, so your internet can last 2 minutes. I don't know from what we've seen so far tonight. It's anyone's bet. But yeah. I don't know, yeah. I mean, I just aim for 2-hour streams, like, for my own sanity and well-being. Because I feel like, you know, any longer than this is definitely, like, way too long for me. But, yeah. I don't know if you like having something to watch for 3 hours, or if you're like, oh my god, why are you still going? Okay, now we just need to do the final, like, I just need to fasten it off so that come heck or high water, nothing undoes the, like the, I wouldn't call this a knot, but whatever we're doing up here so it doesn't unravel. It didn't feel too long? Okay, awesome, good. Exactly what we're hoping for. Okay. Looks like he's got a little web on top of his head. It's very chill and enjoyable. Awesome. Yeah, I guess that's the other thing, is that it's as a chill stream, I feel like it can maybe go a little longer than one where stuff is happening the whole time. Oh, sorry, it's just like, I'm trying to like look at it really close, so I'm like pulling it out of camera. not like it's anything particularly exciting going on. Yeah, I was glad that you were here for it. You were able to make most of it. I appreciate that. Seeing the process through. Okay, now we'll just pull the thread. I keep saying the thread, the yarn. We'll just get the tail end of it in here. So we don't have a string sticking out. There we go. And squish them up to redistribute the fluff inside. Okay, pat them down. And ta-da! Let me move these. Yay! Got a little octopus. He's so cute. I like the stripes. I think that was a good decision. I like the colors. It does feel tropical. It makes me think of like a beach with like the yellow sand and the blue water. Or like a smoothie. Blueberry and banana smoothie. Something like that. Yeah. Awesome. Yay. Well, that's our octopus done. So yeah, thank you for sticking around. I appreciated you checking it out. And I think this was really fun. I'd like to do like another crochet or even like, you know, just craft in general stream. So it's a little hard to, I think, crochet live because it takes a while, but you know, maybe another time we'll do another one, and you know, we can make another small thing like this, and maybe then I'll have the live auction where we sell it off at the end. You know, but yeah. So awesome. Yes, he's so wide. He is. I guess I could have made him like more round, like had more of like a dome on him. But I kind of like that it's like really like short and wide. Look at that, so wide. It's a little cartoony, I guess, which is fun. So yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, oh, good. I'm glad you like to watch again. Yeah. Well, I am going to call it there, but thanks so much for sticking around. And I think I'll probably be streaming next week. I might not. My brother's coming to visit, which is part of why I did a stream this week. Also, I just like wanted to crochet. So yeah. But I'll either see you next week or in 2 weeks. But I'll keep aiming for Thursday if that works. It seems like it works. So yeah, it's a good day for me to do it as well. So I will see you then. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking around. Bye.